for Science. We're going to talk today about how to create some fun lists using eMedia. You may be familiar with using eMedia from the Pioneer Library, but the features we're going to do today are not available that way, so we need to choose myuen.org and log in. Once we're in, the next thing to make sure of is there's two different ways you can be in your UEN page. As this loads up, you'll see that I am on my public page. This public page is what allows me to edit the face that the whole world sees, but the personal page is where the features that are kind of like my office or my warehouse of tools and resources. If you'll scroll down, you should find a Services and Tools widget or a portlet. If you don't have this, you can use the Add Page Content to make sure that you can see this, but I'm going to choose eMedia. And what you'll notice when I log in this way is that I'm logged in as my UEN and then my number. This number is my UEN number, and it's just a sequential number that's generated when you create your myUEN account. So nothing particularly private about that other than it's just your number. And once we're in eMedia, you can start doing some searches. I'm going to choose, a basic search will bring up things you might find useful. Maybe you're doing a unit on atoms. And I click the search button here, and I've got these different tools. These are this visual learning company are 11-second videos, little clips about things that are pretty useful. If I click the next page, we'll find more info. There's images and all kinds of other resources. I kind of thought we'd see one that showed up, so let's try matter and do a search. Yeah, so you see all kinds of fun things about matter and different phases and changes. Now here's the thing about these different resources. As you find them, you might find one that I'm like, man, that's a really great one. I'd like to be able to come back to that and review it or preview it or spend some time with it before I decide to download it. Or maybe you're just trying to gather up a list. There's a couple things that are important to know about this, the way that this works. Let's just pick one. Here's one called Science, Please. I'm going to grab that one. It asks me if I'm willing to agree to the UEN license agreement, which just basically means I'm only using this for educational use. I'm going to accept that. Now, this is a preview where you can view the video, and it works pretty well. This system is not intended entirely as a streaming system. It's actually intended as a downloadable system. So there's two different videos options. The QuickTime video, which generally is a little higher quality, just slightly higher quality, and if there's closed captioning available, it's going to be only on the QuickTime. QuickTime movies will work both on a Mac and a PC, but they're not embeddable inside of a PowerPoint on PC. So if you're going to be using this inside of PowerPoint or doing something else with it, you may want to choose the Windows Media download. That one will not have the closed captioning, but they're pretty good. Now, this series also comes in French. So I think we have a couple of other series that are quick science videos that are available in Spanish as well. But here's the thing, is if I want to keep this button right here, the Save button, will allow me to add a tag. And once I've added that tag, I can check my favorites, and you'll see that I have a list of favorite videos. If I'm looking for something else, let's say a Bill Nye video on matter, and there's one about phases of matter. So I choose that one. I accept the license agreement on that one, which is slightly different than the last one. And then I can have the same options for downloading, but I can save it. I'm going to type matter on this one as well and add that. So you can see that my favorites list can grow. Now this list is not something you can really easily share with someone else, but one of the things that's really useful is that each one of these items in eMedia now has a specific URL. It's big, it's long, but you can actually copy that, and then if you go back to your myUEN page, and I'll still be logged in since I did never log out, it just bounced me into myUEN, I can actually use the Documents and Bookmarks Manager. Oops, that's the Document Manager. can use the bookmark manager is what I really want, to add a folder, which I've already got, named Science, and I can add a bookmark and just call this Bill Nye Phases of Matter. And that link that I just created, whoops, will take any participant straight to that video. Now, as long as they're at a place, oh, I made a mistake. I made the mistake I always warn other people of. Let's edit that. I added the HTTP in there twice. Forgot to delete out the one that pre-populates. Let's try that again. And that'll take me straight to that Equella item, the eMedia item in our database. Now, if this is being accessed from home, they'll be prompted and asked for a login, and they'll have to go through the Pioneer library and use this Pioneer and search login in order to access those materials. But they'll be able to log in and access the materials and see those videos. So it's one way of creating a list. Now, as I just pointed out, once we've found the item and we have that URL, you can copy and paste it into any tool, another website tool, into a document you hand out to students, or anything else that you want to make it accessible to students. But I like using the MyUEN bookmarking tool. So this is one way. Oh, there's one other tool you can put this into as well. If we go back to our personal page on our MyUEN, we can actually use the lesson plan tool that you're using to create your lesson plans for this class. And I'm going to add this to my volcanoes lesson plan. I'm kind of creating a very unstructured lesson plan, but if I go here to my instructional materials, remember last time we talked about adding a document there, but if I choose materials, I can also add a website. Again, I need to take out the HTTP that's pre-populated, put in the site name, which I'm going to call Bill Nye Phases of Matter. I could add a description that might be useful in this one. And call this an eMedia video for enrichment. And once I close this, you'll see that that's added there. And the purple tells us it's already been opened, but it'll take us straight to the eMedia. The Equella system is the name of the system behind this, but eMedia is our resource. So there you go. There you have it. Some quick ways of creating some lists. So this week as you're creating yours, you can either copy them into a document and paste the document into your lesson plan. You can paste these videos directly into your lesson plan, or you can paste them on your MyUEN page and make reference to them in your lesson plan. I kind of prefer either the document or the directly into your lesson plan, but in whatever way you choose to, just let me know how you've posted up your items from the eMedia library if you choose to use this tool this week. There are some great resources I would point out too to check out the power search and look for just science at your grade level, and maybe choose only videos if you only want videos. If I don't put anything in the search items, it's going to give me everything that's there, and there are a lot, and there are a lot of really great series. In fact, if you choose the collection search, you can also choose in the power search you can also do a search by series and pick any of the specific series that you like. There's some pretty good ones. So let's see, the science shorts are another good one that's pretty useful. And these are the ones I mentioned before that are available all in Spanish. That they can help be useful in a Spanish class as well as in a science class with a lot of bilingual students in it. So there are some resources hopefully that can be useful for you. and we'll hope you enjoy your enrichment resources for this week.